morning, everyone. It is time for Good Morning Corona-chan.
We now have a name for the disease, and it is COVID-19.
SARS-CoV-2, Winnie the Flu, the CCP virus, Boomer Doomer.
北京记者站的常驻记者，武汉的同事们都在抗击疫。
我觉得不是很花，我觉得国家还是很有组织能力的啊，很重视的，所以我觉得我不慌。
有这个一套3个，有个人只能买一个，现场又在出。
今年很多人都在缅怀一位医生李文亮。
A local doctor, Li Wenliang, tried to alert people about the virus a month before the lockdown, but he was reprimanded by the local authorities. Then he too became sick.
The saddest thing right now is hospitals are closed down. They don't let visitors. So one of my aunts, she got sick. Her family can't go visit her. So she's alone. Just think about like an older person. They don't even know how to charge their phone. The worst scenario is when they pass. What are you going to do?
People like my grandma who don't have Netflix or any kind of entertainment. She lives in a small town. It used to be that she would just cross the road to go to a cafe and have her coffee with all her friends. Since this lockdown, she can't go further than like 200 meters from her house.
Decisione giusta oggi è di restare a casa. Il futuro nostro dell'Italia è nelle nostre mani e queste mani devono essere mani responsabili, oggi più che mai.
Now a dozen or so towns, as you mentioned, also on lockdown. That means no gatherings, no demonstrations, schools, businesses, restaurants, all shut.
I'm in constant contact with my dad and my sister. She lives here with her family. They're a bit tired.
We are in a period of a different confinement, a new confinement. It's not prison, it's not psychiatric, it's something new, and perhaps it will appear new forms, new media.
France's Health Minister has confirmed that 2 cases have been identified so far. We understand the first case was identified on Thursday.
Aujourd'hui, nous avons 10 995 cas confirmés par test PCR. Parmi ces personnes, 4 461 personnes sont actuellement hospitalisées, ce qui veut dire que 5 000 personnes sont à domicile confinées.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today at HHS.
Throughout history, pandemics have influenced civilizations and cultural practices. From the emergence of the Black Plague to world wars and the Spanish flu, pandemics have helped shape societal norms. With the evolution of COVID-19 into the modern era, viral and bacterial outbreaks have drawn the world to a standstill and have confronted humanity with the prospect of the destruction of the old world and the birth of the new.
Breaking news. The first death from coronavirus here in the United States. A man in his 50s dying from COVID-19 infection in Washington state.
With the media's focus on fear-mongering, political infighting, playing the blame game, everyday people have taken it upon themselves the task of documenting and chronicling the effects of the pandemic, showcasing real lived experiences through social media, in the process, becoming citizen journalists.
CO stands for corona, you know. VI stands for virus, D for disease, so COVID.
We first heard about coronavirus was this attorney and how he lives in New Rochelle and has an office in the city and didn't know he had it and continued along his day. And that kind of was the initial introduction to what it was. locally?
I was on my way to Florida, actually, and I started to hear about it, but I didn't know too much about it at that time. But I did know that there were some precautions to take when you're flying, so I did have my sanitizer and white mask, and I was able to clean the seats on the plane, and I protected myself.
Suffolk County now, currently, within the last 3 days, had more cases than the state of Florida. So I think it went from like 400 to 4,000 within 4 or 5 days. My stepfather's a retired cop, and he went to Florida. He flew out to Florida because his immune system isn't as strong.
I was in Lower Manhattan for when 9/11 happened. I was teaching in Brooklyn and saw it, and then was staying in Lower Manhattan. And that was more devastating to me personally because it was a sudden blow, and it was violent, and it was visually violent. And this isn't sudden and violent. Bigger in some ways, but smaller because you're not seeing the sick people. But we're hearing accounts, and we are seeing them on television, people struggling for breath. So no, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like this.
Never ran out of toilet paper at a grocery store before. She kind of laughed off. And that's why she's not concerned. They didn't have toilet paper back then. You used a magazine, you rubbed it in your hand until it turned soft, or you used water or something and you used that.
For $40, you can go to Lowe's, you can make your toilet a day.
Not necessarily that. It's more so, okay, well, if all these crazy people steal the toilet paper, I'm going to have to go out and get some because if I got to go and I don't have any, I'm going to be screwed.
Meanwhile, the panic of purchasing toilet paper has reached a new low.
Hey, stop! Let me
Did you see that news clip of that college kid on a spring break? He looks like a SoundCloud rapper, but hasn't learned how to figure out SoundCloud yet. They're on spring break in, I don't know, I think it's in Miami. Yeah, man, I don't want to, if I get coronavirus, I mean, it's not going to stop me from partying.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. You know, we've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. So we're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens.
To quote Bill Hicks, I don't think we're losing a cancer cure here. That stuff just makes me just want to curl up in a fetal position and whimper. Oh.
Doing us bad. We need a refund. This virus ain't that serious. It's serious. It's more serious things out there like hunger and poverty, and we need to address that.
My mom actually had it a couple weeks ago, and she's doing fine now. But it was just so weird because it was just becoming popular, the virus. So my mom having it, she didn't even know that it was COVID-19. They were just like, oh, you have an upper respiratory infection.
2 friends of mine lost someone from their family this week, not like last week. They died of coronavirus.
Yeah, that was the 8th I got tested. April 8th was a Wednesday. Probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just kind of felt wonky. I had a mild hangover, but I really wasn't drinking. I didn't know. Just felt off. Felt like tired and dog shit.
It was bound to pop up, but I didn't really think too much of it. Just another virus.
My sister told me that my parents are not taking it super seriously, and my dad is really bummed he can't go to the gym, so he's been going to one of his buddies' houses.
I feel that most of people in the States don't stop and look inside and take care of them and see, okay, how I feel with this, do I like it, am I choosing this?
I kind of get it. Part of me was like, why are these people still outside? A lot of people already have this feeling from the culture that we live in that things are hopeless. And when this came along, it's just like, oh yeah, zombie apocalypse.
This is the moment passers-by say a woman wearing a face mask was attacked in a New York subway station by a man claiming she was sick.
Racism is basically discrimination, that my culture is better than your culture. What I do or who I am is better than you.
The only thing that really just upset me about this is just racism towards Asians or Asian Americans. And it's already bad as it is on the daily, even before the COVID-19, but now it's worse because people or racists have more of an excuse to take it out on Asian Americans.
This disease gave a Puerto Rican eating something in the rainforest of Puerto Rico. I would honestly be nervous.
At my cousin's store, this man come in, he was a white man, and he was just talking about the COVID-19, and her our employee who is Vietnamese like me was there, and then he was just like, oh, these fucking Asians bringing that over, it's their fault, in front of my Vietnamese coworker.
There's one sushi store that's still open. All the other Chinese-owned restaurants have closed. A lot of those shops weren't going to close, but there were a lot of people going in there and blaming them for bringing this disease over from China.
There was this weird backlash that happened against Asian people when this first started happening. You know, they were blaming Asians, and I was like, wait a minute, it was an American, it was a white guy that went over there and brought it back to the States, and then it started slowly festering and festering and festering. Of course, the pointing finger thing is silly. The way it affects people is scary because it will diminish populations.
If you see that happening, you should definitely speak up, whether you're Asian or not. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, because I've seen so many videos online of people being racist towards Asian because of the COVID-19, or Black people or Hispanic people, and everyone around just kind of stands there and record and they don't say anything. You need to put a stop to that. You gotta let them know that's not okay, because letting it continue just kind of validates it for them.
What happens when we treat emotion over science? I'm a human being. It happened to me. It's going to happen to me. It did happen to me. I use emotion to make judgment too. But we can change our mindset. We can be better.
In Australia, I've seen quite a lot of the racism side of things. There's a lot of Chinese in Australia. I've seen a lot of people speaking out, posting things on Facebook. China should be fine. China should have done this. China should do that. That just shows the ignorance of some of Australia.
Maybe in a month and a few weeks things will go back to normal, but for now it's kind of weird.
Israel instituted a nationwide lockdown. I was born there and still have a lot of family there. My brother would be sending us pictures of alerts that he was getting, saying that they were telling everybody to stay in their home during these hours, not even going out for a run or anything, because they're going to be going outside and disinfecting everything.
The situation in Italy is different. That required total lockdown. You have something like 3 or 4 different reasons why you can be out, doing sports, walking your dog, going to help somebody else, and getting groceries.
Depending on what city you're in, or depending on what province you're in, it's a little bit different. But from what I could see, we're trying to respect everything. Mostly, because the healthcare here is very expensive also.
There's a degree of validation and vindication with this pandemic, because you are all living like I do normally every day, every year. I'm stuck at home. How can I be creative and productive with my time? Everybody else has terrible illness hygiene. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic pulmonary condition that is characterized by mucus and fluid building up in the lungs, getting too thick and sticky to secrete. I do breathing treatments every day. I'll just tilt this over and you can kind of see, just to stay healthy without being sick. Starting at such a lower baseline lung function, if I do catch a bad illness, that could really, really knock me out.
My stepfather died in 3 days. When he felt a fever, it was really bad. I couldn't hug him. He was so sad, and I couldn't do anything. She's there by herself. Yesterday, she called me. I can't take it anymore. I need you here, and I can't go. Really bad. It's really bad.
People don't realize the extent of it until they're actually in the middle of it.
Such a crazy conundrum that we're all in. There wasn't a universal red flag. Hey, you guys, watch out. It was kind of almost dismissed, misled. They told us something entirely different.
I think this is showing the selfishness and the greed of the people who have the most power.
In this time period, I don't know if you saw it 3 weeks ago, all the CEOs and all of these major companies started resigning.
I was reading an article about a couple cases in Italy where they're not even taking those bodies.
And when you don't have a vaccination for it, and you don't have protocol in place of what people should be doing from the state from the federal government saying this is what needs to happen, blah, 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 you have chaos.
It looks like it's a man-made patented disease. Why it was made, who knows?
It was lab-made, used as a biological weapon, declare war against every country in the world by the Chinese Communist Party.
There must be something greater going on in this disease, because they're going to shut down the billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of revenue from sports, music festivals, Las Vegas. The question I keep asking is, who's profiting from this?
Human beings are very much pattern-seeking organisms. We are constantly looking for meaning when oftentimes there is no meaning.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. You can definitely see it going one way, but you can definitely see it going another way. One of the side effects of this world quarantine is that people are looking at things for themselves and questioning, which is great.
It's really the fear of lack of control. It's the fear of change that you're not prepared or capable of going with.
We're on the cusp of some wild shit, one way or the other, but I really think that it's going to define the rest of this century.
When the Renaissance happened, it was a flourishing time of arts and development, intellect, and everything was growing and moving forward. And at this point, I feel like everybody's like, oh yeah, technology's so advanced, we're so far ahead, but sometimes just taking that moment to pause and slow down can really help us solve these problems.
Yes, this reset that the earth is doing and all of this healing has to happen to us as well.
Sea turtles are nesting in places that they haven't for hundreds of years. They are recreating that balance themselves, and ironically, it's taken a microscopic unit to be able to shift this large-scale balance.
Find the patterns behind your behavior, find the patterns behind your thought, and then you'll understand a little bit more of what you're made of.
Sometimes we get lost in the way. What happened to us, it's really important for us to look inside, and we have to be by ourselves in this moment. Sometimes you don't like to be with your thoughts, and the most important thing for me is that people change inside, so then we can change the world.
I think maybe we're always taking pleasure by going out and doing things. This is like reteaching and reprogramming our brain that as long as you have loved ones and those close to you, you can still be happy.
Our livelihoods are much bigger than our jobs or our income. Our livelihoods are our well-being, whether it's our physical well-being or our mental well-being. Our livelihoods are our families and our friends.
We're living history. We can do whatever we want. We can take whatever direction we want. And there's a lot of people pushing for a lot of really good ideas.
It's scared that something is threatening us and our existence, so we can at least perceive that we exist.
I feel lucky. I don't want a tube shoved down my throat and die in hospital. So I'm feeling lucky.
Keep plugging. Keep plugging. It's when you think you took a hit and you think it's not working out, that next spot is right around the corner. You just don't see it.
We're all dealing with this day to day. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows how many cases are going to come back positive. Nobody knows if this quarantining is going to work. What's the harm in trying to see if it works?
Nobody can know for sure that they are going to be the one, but at some point in time, you never know when your opportunity is that you will be at the top. You will be apex. You will be quintessential to the world as far as being able to provide something. That's the one thing that I hope that everybody really comes out of this with, is a better understanding of the world and appreciation of it, first of all, but also a respect for each and every individual in it.
But finally, we see something that's so important, so big, and it affects all of us. Hopefully, from now on, we can take things a little more serious.
I hope we will see new artists, new technicians, a new audience with this confined art.